All right, let's be real for a second. Do your finances ever just feel overwhelming? Like, where do you even start? Well, what if I told you that you could hit the reset button, a complete reset, in just 90 days? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this isn't some gimmick. It's a real concrete plan. So let's dive in. The first thing we have to get straight is this. If you're struggling with money, it is not because you're bad at math, it's not some personal flaw. The reason is usually so much simpler. It's just the lack of a plan. And honestly, that single idea is the key that's going to unlock everything for us. And that's exactly what we're going to do right here, right now. We are going to walk through a clear, totally actionable 90-day plan. It's broken down into 3 phases that will put you right back in the driver's seat of your financial life. Okay, phase 1 is the financial audit. Think about it. Every successful business on the planet knows exactly where its money comes from and where it's going. It's time to start acting like the CEO of your own finances. So the very first step is just to get the data. You need to pull your last 3 months of statements. And then you've got to categorize every single purchase. Yep, from your rent down to that morning coffee. And then you find your average monthly spend for each of those categories. Trust me, this exercise alone is going to be a huge eye-opener.
And this is where it gets really interesting. When you lay it all out like this, the numbers start to tell a story. I mean, you probably knew rent was your biggest expense, right? But did you realize you're spending almost as much on bars and coffee as you are on groceries? Whoa. These are the kinds of aha moments that actually lead to real change.
So with your own numbers right there in front of you, it's time to ask the tough questions. Just look at the categories like eating out or shopping or Ubers. Could you realistically trim, say, 10 to 30% from those? A $400 a month cut is nearly $5,000 a year. That's a total game changer. And the last step for this phase is absolutely crucial. If you've got any high-interest debt, you need a plan. And that can start with a simple 5-minute phone call. Just call your credit card company and ask, politely, for a lower interest rate. You'd be surprised how often it works, and it could save you hundreds, maybe even thousands. I mean, the worst they can say is no, right? All right, on to phase 2. You've audited your finances, you know where the money's going. Now it's time to build a system that makes saving and investing feel totally effortless. The core idea here is something called pay yourself first. And it's such a simple but profound shift in how you think about money. Before you pay your bills, before you buy groceries, before you do anything else, you set money aside for future you. And this right here is how you do it. You automate the whole thing. You set up automatic transfers so that the day you get paid, a chunk of your money zips right over into your savings and investment accounts before you even see it. This completely removes the friction and the temptation to spend it. And what's your first automation goal? Build a $1,000 emergency fund. Let me tell you, this is a massive psychological win. Hitting that 4-digit mark is the moment you start to feel some real financial breathing room. And here's why that matters so much. A pretty staggering 59% of Americans can't cover an unexpected $1,000 expense. Just think about that. Building this small buffer gives you an incredible amount of peace of mind. It helps you break out of that stressful paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. So, let's talk about that investment account. Why stocks? Well, because as this chart shows, over the last century, stocks have historically given the highest average annual returns compared to other things. It's simply the most powerful tool we have for long-term wealth creation. And the really crucial point here is that you don't need to be some stock market wizard. Not at all. The simplest way to get started is with something called a low-cost S&P 500 ETF. It's basically a fund that holds tiny pieces of the 500 biggest U.S. companies. With one single purchase, you're instantly diversified. You're just betting on the historical growth of the market as a whole. All right, you've made it to the final phase, accelerating your growth. You've built a really strong financial defense. Now it's time to go on offense and start focusing on expanding your resources. I mean, think about it. There's a limit to how much you can cut your expenses, right? But your potential to earn? That's pretty much unlimited. Whether it's asking for a raise, starting a little side hustle, or learning a new valuable skill, focusing on increasing your income is the absolute fastest way to accelerate your progress. As you start to grow, you need clear targets. And get this, one study found that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals by writing them down. Isn't that wild? So take a minute, really define your goals, and get them down on paper. A quick word on credit cards. They're kind of a double-edged sword. If you have the self-control to pay off your balance in full every single month, they're an amazing tool for rewards in building your credit. But if you tend to overspend, that 21% average interest rate is a nasty financial trap. You've got to know yourself on this one.
So, you did it! You completed the 90-day reset. Seriously, congratulations! But this isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. You've built the foundation, and now you can start building something truly impressive on top of it.
And what does that look like? Well, in 1 year, maybe it's a fully stocked emergency fund. In 5 years, a down payment on a house. And hey, in 10 years, maybe you're on the path to financial independence. These big, exciting goals, they're now actually within your reach.
The real key to making all this last is consistency. The super hard work is done, but you have to maintain it. So schedule a quick check-in with yourself every 3 months. Just review your progress, adjust your plan if you need to, and make sure you stay on track.
So your 90-day sprint has built you a powerful new financial engine. You have a system, you've got momentum, and you have control. So the only question left to ask is, what will you build next?